Hi, I'm Marvin Swain. I want to broach the subject of truth of creation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a video conference. And the video conference is going to have a few rules. Basically, ask and answer questions. And always make sure that you have a source. What is the source that you're sending it from? But I'm creating a website, truthofcreation.org. I'm going to be throwing out all kind of ideas on everything from cryptozoology to aliens to timelines in the Bible, because I think the major issue is timelines in the Bible that create a division in the religious community, and then it creates a division between the religious community and the atheist side community. So anyway, let me go on with this. Don't forget Truth of Creation series on. We'll have it on Kickstarter.com soon. We'll have it on YouTube soon. We'll have it on my own site, which will be truthofcreation.org. I'm going to start with just a few interesting ideas to mull over and give people food for thought. The female deity, which is basically the female deity worship sort of throughout the world, more in the Middle Near East, Far East. And I believe the female deity people worshipped was Lilith. Of course, after she left the garden, her punishment was to be turned into a monster, a creature, is basically what you hear on any History Channel show. But the original word might have meant something different and been translated into monster or creature. And we don't know I don't know what her life was after she left the garden, and I don't think many people do. She lived, she could have lived like I believe you'll find in some of the other videos that I have, the 14 billion year old life of Adam theory. And I think that if you give that credence that it could be true, then it's possible Lilith could have lived until Adam sinned, and that would have started her day. That would have made her look like a deity. Anyway, it's been a lot of things happened since that time, so it could have ended up with a lot of misinformation, cross culture, cross language, that just misconstrued and misunderstood all of the word. Okay. I do believe dwarfism could be a result of the old days whenever tribes took captives and possibly took some like what might be considered dwarfs, but in perfect human form, not with the bulging limbs as a lot of the like guys have big arms, oversized arms and things like that. I think that's a possibility. That's kind of a small subject for that I want to, the amount of information I want to put out is small, but I want people to think about that and put your 2 cents in, and don't be rude about how we ask and answer our questions. Let's look at it from a scientific point of view. I do believe giants could have been more common, because if people, like now we have the elephant, we don't all in awe about elephants unless we're standing right next to them. The same could have been true about giant men. If they were around, nobody wrote big stories about them, and they may have, but they may have been destroyed in, when civilizations were destroyed in the past. So we don't know exactly what the situation was between the time when they were here, and we have found a lot of big bones, and we have a lot of men approaching 9 foot today, which would mean to me that there's a lot of genes of giants in our blood. And of course, the way we talk about elephants, matter of factly, that's probably the way they talked about giant men back in the old days. And a thought about perpetual motion. Before you can have a perpetual motion machine, you have to have perpetual material. I haven't heard any science talk about that. I'm sure maybe they have. But you have all the materials in the perpetual motion machine must be perpetual materials, never decaying, period. And I think a lot of people forget that when they're trying to make perpetual motion. So in our time period, nobody's probably going to patent it. And think about the light in our universe. A scientist recently stated that the light comes into the universe much the same way as a video game. If that's true, Could our perception of our own existence change? Would that change the way we view God, and that maybe He looks upon us like we're in a video game of His making? And also, there's an Indian legend. I don't know if it's all Indians in the Americas or if it's specific Indians believe in the Manitou, which states that when you create something, you create a soul along with it, and that soul can either be good or bad. I'm not sure how that pertains to the soul, what creates that, but it's possible that if you create something with evil intent, you get an evil soul. If you create something with good intent, you get a good soul. But I was thinking, what if we find out that the video games, I mean, when we go to heaven, that we've created video games that all the little characters have souls. That's just something to mull over when you're having a drink. Anyway, it's a comparison to our two worlds. Okay, for now, that's all I have on these subjects, and I do have several more videos coming out. I would like you to view them, make some kind of comment, go to the site, truthofcreation.org, and make a comment. Just don't be rude, because we want the truth. That's all we're seeking, is the truth. There's a lot of things out there. A lot of people accuse the archaeological community of hiding things from us, but I don't know if that's true. So anyway, I want to go ahead and try to create a system, start a video conference, and maybe we'll learn something. Thank you very much.